Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audience. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Chow is my name. East West is the show. G&E is the flagship. Yes, for quite some time, every moment when I see one, that is, we're not waging wars, we're not talking about sanctions to any nations, we're not launching missiles or whatsoever. Nobody is launching missiles. We sneak in talking about some day-to-day life stuff, right? Was a week ago, we had the pleasure of hosting a delegation for cultural exchange from Jilin province of China. For one afternoon during the event, there was one summit discussion, panel discussion of 8. The 8 guys over there talking about cultural exchange. They kind of focuses to the government level, talking about culture export, if you may, right? I kind of thinking about the other way. I'm talking about a bottom line. At my level, at my position, I can't export anything, right? All I can do is to stay on this level, to actually practice or exercise the day-to-day exchange, right? We're all human. Human need to exchange. However, when there is an interracial exchange, that's a different story, right? That's quite a different story. And I have done quite a few shows talking about interracial marriage, and I have several my couple friends coming here to talk about, share about their stories. Today, I have the pleasure of once again being visited by another wonderful couple of my friend circle. I have Mr. Adam Oddly,
That's right.
a CPA for life.
Thank you, Jack.
Oh, by the way, I just said I wonder how come all good women marry CPA.
I think they like the last 3 letters CPA.
Ah,
No, I
yeah.
think it has a lot to do with the security, and I think they like the profession. It's a real good profession.
All right, okay, very good. And his wife, anyway, Oddly.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show, to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. I'm flattered to have friends here to open their minds for me, for the subject, right? So, I mean, how many years, how long you guys get married?
Actually, we're still newly wed,
Oh.
right?
Yes, we were married back in May.
Oh, good, very
It's
good.
actually married
Congratulations,
on May
congratulations.
20th.
But how long did it take to work it out, though?
A year.
A year.
Oh,
A year is a long time. A year is an absolutely long time.
Goes by fast.
I read a book. On the book, the woman author, right? I read a book. On the book, this woman author says, it needs no more than 10 minutes to fall in love with a man.
That's right.
Oh my God. No more than 10 minutes, okay? So your case is that you're much safer, much better 1 year time, okay? So that's one wonderful. With the subject that I just throw in, do you think that's a too big a subject, or you kind of like find it familiar or find it close to you?
Actually, first of all, thank you, for inviting us to be here.
My
It's our
pleasure.
pleasure. I think interracial marriage actually have lots, very interesting, and there are lots of benefits, and also there are challenges too. Yeah.
Lots of challenges.
Yes, too.
And do you still see benefit? Do you still see challenges?
I actually think there's a lot of benefits to an interracial marriage. Having grown up in Southern California, I've always been, and my parents were from England, so I've always been, I've seen lots of different cultures during my formative years growing up here.
I see.
And to me, that's what makes us much more interesting a place to be, is when you have lots of different people.
All right, okay. In between challenge and benefit, what do you see more?
Benefits.
Benefit, such
Absolutely
as?
benefits.
Such
Well,
as?
you know, different perspectives on anything from large to small. Large could be just, different politics, different things going on in the world, which I think is have differences of opinion. Sometimes smaller things, such as what are we going to eat tonight, comes to play. And I will say, okay, let's, it's a big it's a lot of bargaining going on, Jack. A lot of bargaining going on.
Good, very good, very good. So do you see more challenges or more benefit?
Actually, to our marriage, we see more benefits because as you know me, I have been living here for over 20 years. So I already adapt to American
You're
culture,
already Americanized.
more westernized, right? So
Americanized,
yes.
westernized, yes.
Then also, I think we see more benefits. But when I see other friends, if they came here probably a couple years ago, several years ago, the interracial marriage had lots of challenges.
Yeah. She probably
Not
might
only
have
talk about our
she might
marriage.
have accidentally hit a very, very important subject.
Okay.
For a interracial marriage to work out, each of the party needs to be
Compromise.
no.
Compromise.
Needs to be in the United States
Yes,
for long enough.
that's right. That's I thought that was
Otherwise, for somebody who flies in, boom, landed, get into an interracial marriage, life's going to be extremely hard.
I will agree with that. I think one of the things that I found very attractive about Annie is because she has the Chinese culture, but at the same time, she can understand me.
Exactly.
And I agree with you. If you haven't been here long enough, you wouldn't understand me.
Take myself, for example. I've been here for 34 years already, right? A little longer than you. I consider myself an American. I'm American already, right? Because I'm totally head to toe Americanized, westernized.
That's right.
So for me to have somebody coming over all the way and landed to be a wife, I really have to be scared or something.
I agree
right?
with that. Even you're Chinese. If someone came here from China to marry to you, and she grew up in China, I think even between two of you, you're both Chinese.
Right. Good,
you will still have problems.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
I think that's called probably intercultural marriage, right? Maybe not interracial because you're both Chinese.
As a matter of fact, Adam, I would rather adopt her term, intercultural marriage. It's not interracial.
I think that's a much better term.
A much better term because interracial could always mean that somebody from England, for example, from say South Africa, born here, of course, and interracially, but culturally, there's no gap. Something like that, right? So intercultural, let's use that from now on. Very good. For intercultural marriage, and you both accidentally see more benefit than challenge, because number one, he is from a family, an immigrant family. Diversity to you is not a surprise.
That's right.
And you being here over 20 years, right? So, however, at this level, though, do you still see conflicts?
I think Adam just mentioned even for small things, like okay, what are we going to eat tonight?
Where are we going to eat?
Okay, okay, you guess. What's my answer?
I don't know.
Japanese, Chinese, Italian, Mexican.
Yeah.
Most time I will prefer.
If I were you, I would go Chinese.
That's right.
Chinese.
It's a good thing I like Chinese food. That's all I have to say.
You like Chinese food?
Oh, absolutely.
See?
Actually, I cook Chinese food almost every day.
That's another accident. That's
right.
another accident.
Yeah.
So I say, accidentally, God made you guys a couple, something like that. Right? Okay, now, going to supermarket, where do you go?
Oh, that's an interesting. We go both. We go to...
Actually,
Dahua?
We do go to Dahua,
or
the 99 Ranch, but I go by myself, go to Dahua. If we both go to supermarket, we go Trader Joe's.
Ah, Trader
And we
Joe's,
go
okay.
Ralph's.
Ralph's?
He prefer Ralph's by himself sometimes.
Okay.
So,
Only because it's close.
yeah.
But I've been to
99 ranch, but
99
most
ranch.
time I do the shopping. Yeah.
I think the real point on intercultural is, you have to have the ability to absorb some. At first, it seems like could be a big divide between cultures and so forth. But what I've discovered is, the more time you spend with someone, the more time you spend in a culture. Like when we went to China for the 3-week trip, more time I spend in the Chinese community, the more I realize they're very similar to the English culture. I see more similarities than I see differences.
The same challenges to her side.
Yeah.
And she has to get involved with the Eurocircle. The more she gets involved with the Eurocircle, the more she understands you. The same thing.
That's right.
Is equally a challenge to everybody. I'm talking about, what I'm talking about is that based on that, which is commonly understood, there are minor issues that are commonly neglected, commonly forgotten, things like that, all right?
Okay.
So my dear audience, today I have the pleasure of have another wonderful friend couple visiting me. That's Adam and Annie. They look wonderful to me so far, and I just noticed some details. I know the devils are in the details, so, well, it's a good sign, or a very good sign. Let's take a very short moment now. When we come back, we will probably focus with what we have discussed already as a foundation. On top of the foundation, we see little issues. Sometimes I do believe devil are in the details.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see some details, please.
Okay.
Hello, my lovely friends, my dear audience, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Americans. Life is hard. Even though sometimes repays, you have to wait for long enough to get repaid, right? Most of the time, you have to deal with the hustles, rustles, and sometimes even getting. Anyway, I hate to mention that. There are lots of terms described it, and none of them suits for the table. All right. Anyway. Today, with me talking about the intercultural marriage, from now on, I'm going to use your term. Intercultural marriage is my friend Annie Wei and her husband, Adam Otley.
Yes.
So, to both of you, once again, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
All right, thank you. Talking about devils are in the details, right? And I'm a man of details. I do not only notice others' details, I pay attention to my own details, right? So when the day-to-day details are concerned, what do you find the best part of her and the worst part of her that you can't accept it, or you have a hard time accepting? I need both.
Okay.
The best.
The
You
best.
find yourself feel jubilant about.
Oh, I'm absolutely
my
jubilant
God,
about it.
right? Like that. And the
okay.
worst, you can't accept, right?
Okay.
However, of course, you.
I'll do
you
the
come
best I
along.
can,
Yeah,
Jack.
yeah,
All right.
sure.
When it comes to the best of Annie Wei, the best of Annie Wei is her personality and her go-get-'em attitude. She has a way of really organizing people towards an event or another cause or something that's very important to the community. Having worked at working at the San Gabriel Valley Partnership, she really puts all the energy in the world behind that. The tough thing about Annie is that she has so much energy that sometimes when I don't show as much energy as she has, I want to take a break or something, she gets frustrated with me, and she has a very short fuse with me.
You're criticized for being slow.
I'm a little slow. I'm a little contemplative, and I do things at my own pace, and they're not necessarily at her go-get-'em pace, if you know what I mean.
In the supermarket, they sell slow cookers, and they say the advertising says, the slower, the better.
Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Yeah.
Slower the better.
The slower
when
the
it comes
better,
to,
right,
she's a fast fry, if you know what I mean. And I'm usually me getting.
It's
usually me getting
slow.
fried.
She fries it. You slow cook it.
Yes.
Right. Very
Yes.
good. Okay.
Yes.
Same question. What do you see from Adam? Your best. His best. And what is the part that you can accept him?
To me, actually, Adam brought sunshine to my life.
Oh, good.
So especially my age, we almost reached to 50 years old soon.
No, come on, you're not that much.
But in my age, as a woman, as you know, we consider ourselves like immigrant here, right? We don't really have lots of family members around us.
Okay.
So, but I'm a businesswoman. I'm doing very well in my own career.
Okay, I know
but
that.
I'm still looking for security too.
Right.
Very honest.
Some kind of harbor.
That's right. And then Adam is true professional. Then also, he's very loyal. That's what I'm looking for.
Loyal. Okay.
I learned the bad experience from my previous marriage.
Okay, I know that.
To me, loyal is to the family. It's very the very I can say one of the most factor I will consider.
Okay.
And he's a very cheerful person too.
He likes your certainty.
Yes.
He likes your loyalty.
Yeah.
Certainty and loyalty. I have summed up these two. And what do you think?
Affectionate too.
All right, good.
I
Affectionate
might as well be a
too.
Labrador.
Okay, very good. And what are the worst part?
Actually,
that you can't
that's
accept?
Exactly. You guys talk about. You know, sometimes I understand because he worked for one big four accounting firm. He's the partner. He's very stressful. You know, when he got home, I said, "Honey, when we're going to finish designing the backyard?" I said, "Tomorrow. I will call the designer." Then to me, I want to get things done fast.
Okay.
Then 2 days. I gave now tomorrow 2 days.
You're slow cooking it.
Yes. I said, "Honey, did you call him?" He said, "I left a message." Then I learned that means he hasn't called yet.
I see. All right, okay.
Yes,
That
that
means you
bothers
forgot,
me,
yeah.
but that's okay. I really understand. But sometimes I like get things done fast. So
All right.
maybe I have bad temper immediately. Then in 10 minutes I'm okay.
I see.
Oh yeah. I'll say this. She has a very high EQ, but once in a while you get to that point where you see Annie, the side of Annie that can be really tough, tough Annie, because I think that she is from an environment where she has to get things done, and I respect that tough, but I think I've got a way of calming her down.
Is there a moment that she or you gets excited?
It's usually Annie
and,
getting
and kind of like any unhappy moment that you end up with a quarrel or something?
Actually, that's the bad part of me. I was so angry. I probably screaming at him. He's very calm. He never really argued back to me in that moment. Yes.
How did you get even though?
It's not a question of getting even because usually she's right. But I will say this: when it comes,
You're smart.
I've learned from Annie. I think maybe more so than anyone, the power of empathy. And when she's mad, there's usually a reason for underlying her being critical of me, which I absorb, I reflect, and that's why I don't fight back. There's no point in fighting back. She only gets mad truly when I'm wrong. Once in a while, though, I think she does say things that are wrong, and then I do snap back, and I say, no, that's just not right. So you have to pick your moments, like any other relationship. You have to pick your moments. What's important to me is important to me, and I will say it.
Okay. Good. That's a good analysis. That's also a good attitude for a man to have, right? And to be honest with you, I do not have that kind of quality. I will fight back right away. Most of the time I will do, right? Because you're accusing the wrong party. I'm the right man. I did the right thing, right? Something like that. Okay, anyway, now I learn, and never too late to learn. Oh yeah, you can probably do it later or another day, or you can even forget it, right? Okay. Anyway, now let me ask you this. I believe both of you have experienced the previous marriage.
Yes.
That's true.
And criticize me if I said anything wrong. All right, good, good. I really hate to say anything wrong in this regard, right? You might be a virgin. Well, who knows, right? Something like that. Okay. I understand both of you have experienced some previous marriages.
That is true.
What is the part in this marriage that reminds you of culture difference? See what I mean? See what I mean? Okay, your previous women, your ex-wives or ex-wives, you guys might have good times, a bad time whatsoever. However, being the same race, being the same kind, right? Being the same ethnic background, though, there's nothing that reminds you or kind of poke you as a culture point, right? So, and the same thing I'm asking you, right? So, I understand a little better because you have experiences of both, right? Now, talking about what are the parts that in this marriage you notice are caused by culture difference, positively or negatively, please.
Okay. If I understand you properly, okay, this marriage brings a different perspective because Annie's from China. There's no question about it, and the cultural background that comes with it, though she's been in the U.S. for quite a while.
For the good record, please.
I would say that the perspective of being from the East, from China, gives Annie a certain perspective that involving perhaps it's really sort of sometimes geopolitical perspective. Sometimes it's a perspective of where the Chinese have come and where they're going type of perspective. It can get into Chinese cultural, Chinese movies, the cultural things that we watch together. I was never never got that kind of depth of perspective from my previous marriage. It was American, so forth. So I would say that it's opened my eyes to the fact that there are a lot of other people out there who are, as I've mentioned previously, quite similar when you really get to it as individuals, but are impacted by their histories.
Oh, thank you for your honesty.
And their histories are something that are different than my histories.
Yes, you're right.
And there are points of contention sometimes between my views of the world and what's going on, and her views of the world and what's going on at every level. And with that,
same question to you. So, what do you find in this marriage that reminds you never before, right? Never before, culturally, you see a difference.
Actually, my previous marriage, I married to American guy too.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Then
and he's my friend also. Remember that?
Actually, you're a host,
Yeah.
Actually, he was the MC for my previous
I was the MC
wedding.
at the previous wedding. Yeah.
Organized the whole thing. I want to say, to me, I don't have any problem with intercultural marriage. But if you really, I want to give some people want to jump into or go into intercultural marriage, you marry to the person you really love, and the person really match personality, and the value really match. As in Chinese we call 适合你的人. You don't want to marry because someone married to me want to have a trophy wife, or married to someone want to have a trophy husband. That's really I learned from our marriage. From previous marriage, it's not like that person is not good. We both is wonderful person as a human being. But when we were getting together, we realized we have so many difference in life. But with Adam, and every day, we saw each other, even maybe living together for a while, married for a while.
Yeah, all right, good.
She got home, she like, hey,
I understand.
cheerful.
Your comment tends to be on the overall average basis. I'm asking about the culture point, right? From this marriage, what reminds you as the sparkle of the culture? Anyway,
I'll go back and answer.
Let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we'll continue from that point. Today with me, my good friend Annie Wei, who brought her husband and Adam. Adam turns out to be a very, very nice person, and he's talkative too. I like that. You're a natural almost. Okay,
thanks, Jack.
very good. Let's take a short moment now. When we come back, we'll continue. Please stay with us. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience, and welcome back to the East-West Show. I'm so proud to host the show because it's not a job, it's a privilege because I got the chance, the opportunity, the privilege to see all kinds of people, to touch all kinds of issues. Yeah. Believe me or not, for the past 6 years, it worked out like going to school once again. No school will teach you every single day, right? But this school does, right? Okay. And I still feel growing and fast growing, like that kind of thing. And today with my friends, Adam and Annie, we're touching base with you about the intercultural marriage. The intercultural, somebody refers to as interracial, which is not that precise. We decide to change it, intercultural marriage. Makes lots of sense because this is the bottom line. People get mingled the most. Sometimes you do not need language. Right. I remember seeing a film, The Iron Face. You remember that film, Iron Face? Louis XIV.
Oh, the Iron Mask.
The Iron Mask, yeah, or for something. The Louis XIV was jailed by his twin brother.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
At the end, they switch.
Yes.
They switch, right?
Yes.
And the whole royal family, everybody was deceived.
That's right.
Until the last moment, the queen, the wife, was dancing with him. So the moment, the two hands, only 4 fingers touch together, she says, "No, you're not him. You're not him." No language exchanged already. And she knows, no, you're not him. That's it. So in between husband and wife, sometimes eyesight or a hint or a smile is enough. It's whole language, right? Yes. Okay, I am talking about that sparkles. Now, there are moments misunderstandings are caused. I have a friend who came over to stay in the professor's house. The professor was so smart and so high-ranking. And he told me that, you know what? Me and my wife decided to stay there for 6 months. That was May. That was in May. 6 months, in other words, we are checking out on November. You know what? The professor started May, June, July, August, September, October. Oh, yeah. To confirm it, it was November. It's so easy. It's a May plus 6. That's November. You know, that is, on the surface, seems to be right. You know what I told him? I said, you're wrong, as a matter of fact. You're the one, right? In the English language, the month, it has only a name. It has nothing to do with number.
That's right.
May doesn't mean 5.
No.
Right? And June doesn't mean 6. So you are barking on the wrong tree, you're accusing the wrong party, the wrong culture, right? Giving that as an example, do you have encountered of any misunderstanding that caused by this nature? Harlan,
that's a tough question.
That's a tough one.
Really, really tough question. A misunderstanding caused by that. I'm having a hard time with that one.
You may send me emails for that, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Very good. You said
it's
you want
very difficult for us to misunderstand each other because, first of all, I'm already Americanized here, and also we're even. What's misunderstand? I don't know.
Okay, put it this way. Is there anything she likes to eat you don't want to eat? Or you can't take?
Or you can
For example, 臭豆腐.
he can take it, but I don't like either.
Oh, I see.
But
All right. That's good.
That's one thing I want to say. For the chicken feet, right? He won't eat.
Chicken feet.
Yeah, but I will never order just two of us go out. But do I like chicken feet? If I go out to have dim sum with my girlfriends, I will order it. I won't eat just
Chicken feet is my favorite. It's my best.
Yeah.
It's my favorite.
So he won't eat.
Okay, good, good. That's respect.
Yeah.
And you see, number one, you see the difference.
Yes.
And number two, you accept the difference.
Yes.
And then you respect the difference. People normally don't do this. People try to change you.
That's right.
Yeah, sure.
Right?
Annie's done.
Adam, eat it. It's good.
Annie's never tried to change me. In fact, she's tried to warn me, saying this is not for you. This is fine for everyone else, but not for you because I know you won't like it.
Especially when you like group dinner, group people get together for Chinese food. He's very good. I will say sometimes the intestine soup, right? And also inside has something else.
Yeah.
I just tell him, I said, don't need to ask. Respect other people,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Just say, just don't eat that one.
Yeah.
Okay, he said, okay, you don't need to know what we're eating.
What it is.
Yes.
And you might offend others, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they might like it.
I think there's
respect that.
Yeah, I think there's been some things I've learned.
Have you been to China?
Yes.
Yes.
And do you like China?
Yes, very much so.
Which city
Right.
you like the most? I think
What
it's
do I
Dalian.
want? Yeah.
I like Dalian.
Dalian is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. They're all good.
Did you get a chance to try Chinese
Multi.
Maltai?
Yes.
or
Let me. You've opened up a very good point of discussion. In the West, we typically, notwithstanding what you see at some younger people at bars, we typically drink wine, sip it, or drink our scotch very slowly and so forth. I
to
had
your
to learn.
own extent, yeah.
Yeah, I had to learn what I consider to be a very important skill, which is knowing the ritual, the Chinese ritual of drinking at dinner. And I learned some tricks thanks to Annie that were defensive, but by and large, it was important that I learned this because I could easily offend people. And at first, I was taken aback by the Gambay, glass of wine, Gambay, and then the art of looking at somebody in the eyes and acknowledging them after you Gambay. I mean, typically we're just drinking and that's it. But the concentrating on the subject, the person you're drinking with, and then remembering to drink with everyone at least once to honor them, to honor their presence.
Good.
That's something I had to learn. I wasn't very good at it. And once in a while I slip, and she goes, Adam, you got to remember to look at people to acknowledge them.
You're
and,
right.
I'm
You're
just
right.
going, okay, I'm doing the best I can here.
Right.
But it's a challenge.
That's also respect to the other culture.
Other culture,
Right,
yes.
right.
He
And
joined,
also respect another culture.
he
That's important.
attended the high school reunion with me.
Uh-huh.
High school classmates, and they put the big bottle of the beer in one bowl. You have to drink one time, bottom up,
Oh my
bottom
God.
up.
That's what
He
I
did
said.
it.
You
Well,
did
more
it.
than just once,
With
unfortunately.
the whole table.
But at
Oh
first
my
I
God.
started out by saying, "Oh, I'm just going to do small." It was a tactic. And anyway, the bottom line is that you have to know how to have fun. You have to know how to have fun in that culture.
Yeah,
it
you
is
put
different.
it. You use the term ritual. Yeah, that's the right term. It's not only a custom; it's a ritual. Respect, right?
Right.
So, I like that elevation. Because not everybody of my friends who were born here, Native American, that I brought to China, they understand to respect it to an extent as a ritual already.
And if I didn't, and we have some friends that are not, I know him. He's he's
Yes.
an American guy who doesn't understand
like
the
it,
ritual or
yeah.
appreciate it, doesn't like it as much. In my mind, when I married Annie, I married her culture as well.
Yes,
and
you're
so
right.
I made a decision, and it wasn't very difficult because it's a fun culture, to respect it. Okay.
Good.
I can imagine what our marriage would have been like, or would be like, if I went the other direction and said, no, I'm not Chinese. I'm not going to respect that culture. That's not something I do.
That's good
That's
conclusion.
not Western.
That's a very good conclusion. Yes.
I don't feel like I need to. Well, you can imagine that what that says about her choice in a husband, and I wouldn't ever want her to feel that way.
Let's get to a little conclusion for sectional conclusion that you guys both agree that the differences of culture remain. It is there.
No question there.
No question, right? Conflict is there, no question. Yet, if these two parties are so willing to get into the other,
Yes.
there's no problem at all.
That's right.
Am I right?
I think overall, no problems. Challenges remain, but I think there are more challenges because you have a challenge with anybody you marry, regardless of culture.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I think when you get to know the other people and you work with them or you spend time with them, differences largely, if not entirely, disappear.
All right, very good. I like that. And you're the only couple that I interviewed who agree on this one with such a happy conclusion. All right. So let's take a little moment now. When we come back, let me give them a challenge. Instead of them challenging each other, let me give them a challenge. Let's see what will happen. Stay with us, please. Hello, dear friends, lovely friends, my dear audiences. Welcome back to the show. Jack Chow on the East-West Show with G&E TV. Once again, we're talking about culture. We're talking about culture exchange. And we're today even talking about intercultural marriage. Right, good. With me are my good friends, Adam and Annie. They are equally lovely. They are equally good friends of mine. And I'm proud to have them as a friend. And during the past segments, we shared a lot. We are happy to come to a sectional conclusion that conflicts are there, challenges are there, but they are happily to be challenging each other. And after challenge, there is one more mingle, and things are getting better and better. Now, my question in the political area, by politics, I'm talking about two politics. I'm talking about the domestic politics. I'm talking about international politics. Now let's stay with domestic. Okay. Between the two parties, right? Between the right and the left, between the two extremes, we have all kind. You got on the same boat or not?
I'll let her speak first because I know which boat I'm on.
Actually, I'm kind of conservative Democrat.
Conservative Democrat.
But I do because actually my job's I work for economic partnership. So I do want to, for example, in California, business friendly. We can lower, the corporate tax. But lots of other issues, I do support Democrat.
Okay. And where do you stand, Adam?
I am a Reagan Republican.
Oh, you're a Reagan Republican.
Yeah, I became a member of the Republican Party when I met Ronald Reagan.
You know who's my favorite president of the United States?
Who's that?
Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, he was an optimist.
I like him a lot, yeah.
My view of the world is that individuals have responsibility to themselves, their families, and to their societies, and you don't fix problems by social means, okay? By a heavy hand of government. Less government, generally speaking, I believe is better.
Okay, very good.
Having said
so in between the two, and do you find the conflicts or sometimes do you argue?
I forgot, recently we argued something. I was so mad at him about some issues because from my perspective, Bill, as immigrant, how difficult for us.
Okay, we'd better take an issue. Let's say immigration reform, right? Do you get along with that?
Oh, that we talk about immigration reform recently. I said because why we argue something about immigration law reform.
All right.
I think
I'll speak my point, and then maybe I'll come back.
All
to
right.
it.
Okay.
I've always believed. I'm from an immigrant family. My father came here legitimately, and
You're always for immigration?
well, I'm for immigration, but I'm for controlled immigration, not unfettered access to the United States. So I believe more along the lines of what's been articulated, and that people want to come to the U.S. and do it the right way. If you come here and you're not doing it the right way, should you expect?
Do you think we should legalize the 11 million that import already?
So I flip and flop. I vacillate on that one. Part of me says, well, they're here. People are here. They have a right to live. And so forth.
They're here. They established it.
Yeah. So
Right,
it's a difficult thing for me too.
Okay, very good. Now internationally, now that everybody is fighting for number one of the world, right? To be number one of the world. Okay, internationally, now we're in the world. Everybody is trying to be number one of the world, to be leader of the world, namely between U.S. and China, right? And then there are lots of conflicts. There are lots of issues, such as Korea, North Korea, such as Russia, such as Iran, such as everywhere, all right? So do you find yourself more in agreement over the international issues or conflicts in the international issues?
I think when we talk about the cooperation between China and the USA, that way actually we had agreements, right? But come to North Korea, that issues, and I think I'm not 100% sure his opinion, but I think a lot of American believes China should do something. Then sometimes they think because China didn't do anything.
As a matter of fact, China is doing something.
Yeah, we are doing something.
2 days ago, China joined the party to sanction in North Korea and frozen all the bank accounts. So, you're doing something. Only like your term, who is a faster cooker or slow cooker? And China probably be slow cooking of all the time. Well, that could be. Yeah. So, in other words, internationally, with those issues or differences, that didn't cause you guys to be unhappy with each other.
No, but we do differ. I mean, I have my views, and they're not necessarily in line with hers in connection with the South China Sea, for instance, the building of the fake islands.
Oh, China Sea, yes.
Yeah,
that's we have difference.
I definitely am against that. I think that Chinese expansionism is something that we all have to worry about. But then again, I always reflect on U.S. expansionism, and when you put the two side by side, then you start to realize nobody's really any different than anyone else. Yeah, everybody's looking for the same political and geopolitical advantage over the other guy.
Of course, yeah.
Britain at one point in time ran the world, and it lost.
It took turns.
The U.S. had its day, and it's still going to be important. And China ruled the world back before Christopher Columbus, as I'm reading.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be long, maybe it's Chinese responsibility.
But one thing for sure, that's a side issue, of course. Looking back all these 500 or 600 or even 700 years, China has never invaded any other land. That's a fact, right? That's a fact. That could be, we're in the country talking about credit. You go into the bank, ask for a line of credit. They didn't give you because you breached some contract, right? Now, if you could have a good credit, and then they give you good credit lines, right? The country, the same thing. You look back into their credit, so 500, 600, 700, 800 years, they never invaded anybody, all right? So somebody, okay, probably will trust that. So anyway, after all, you guys married couple, for the sake of it is my wife's country, birthplace, I better love it. And vice versa, right? You're thinking, oh yeah, that's my husband's country. Oh, England, oh my God. The great UK, the great UK, right? Is my husband's homeland. I better love it. So you both can bring yourself on this same page, same ground. That's enough.
Yes.
I would say, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my dear audience and my lovely audiences, today is one of the very, very nice show that I like so much. Only, well, of course, we, because of time, we've done just only a little on the surface. And we haven't even touched the intimacy part at all, right? Another day, we'll talk about intimacy. How about that? Right, very good.
Be good.
With me, we have Mr. Adam Audley and we have Annie Wei Audley, a lovely couple. So thank you very much for coming here to my audiences. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.